Welcome to Leader Lifestyle Hub. As we have set the target of completing 200 book summaries in the entire year, here comes the book number 160. The name of the book that we have today is Invisible Influence. Without any delay, let us start our journey of book summaries. So this is the title, Invisible Influence, The Hidden Forces That Shape Behavior, written by Jonah Berger. Let us see the small information about Jonah Berger. Jonah Berger is a professor and a world-renowned expert on NLP, natural language processing, change, word of mouth, influence, consumer behavior, and why things catch on. Here are the few other books: Contagious, Why Things Catch On, Magic Words, recently written that book. Invisible Influence, the book that we are reading is the book of 2016, The Catalyst, Contagious, how to build word of mouth in the digital age. And he is a professor at Wharton School of University of Pennsylvania, an internationally best-selling author and an expert of change, word of mouth, and viral marketing, social influence, how products, ideas, and behavior catch on. So this is all about the author information. Without any delay, let us see the target audience here. The 34-year-old deep thinker who is curious to know how others influence their choices. The 54-year-old leader who needs to make more unbiased decisions. And anyone who would like to more control over the choices they make. Let us see the small synopsis. Invisible influence will help you make better choices by revealing and reducing the effect that others have on your actions, your thoughts, and your preferences. Let us listen from the author himself, Jonah Berger. Just like atoms bouncing off each other, our social interactions are constantly shaping who we are and what we do. We would like to think that we are all individual and original. Maybe you feel like you march to the beat of your own drum while others just follow the crowd. In reality, it is virtually impossible not to be influenced by the people around us, at least a little bit. You might have your own sense of fashion, but unless you are making your own clothes, you probably are buying the same mass-produced clothes everyone else is. Most of us are heavily affected by our surroundings and don't even know it. Have you ever felt like the people around you are influenced far too easily? One celebrity sharing their view on a political issue can convince tons of people to adopt that opinion. One friend, one documentary, or even just one tweet can shape how we feel about the world. And of course, this is not always a good thing. Jonah Berger's Invisible Influence, The Hidden Forces That Shape Behavior, is all about how our world affects us more than we think. This is a book that will not only show you how to spot when you are succumbing to this influence, but also how to take advantage of it. Let us see the top 3 lessons. Here are the 3 most fascinating lessons this book taught me about the influence of others. Other people affect the choices you make, but knowing about this phenomenon will help you beat it. Important lesson is whether you like it or not. Your everyday choices and your everyday opinions are an imitation of what the people around you are doing. Let me repeat this statement. Whether you like it or not, your everyday choices and your opinions are an imitation of what the people around you are doing. Let us see the lesson number 3. Our social surroundings change the way we perform and can motivate or distract us. Are you ready to see how knowing about the unseen influence of others can improve your life? Let's get a move on. Let's get each and every lesson in detail. Lesson number 1. Learn about the effect others have on your choices so that you can overcome it. A study by psychologist Richard Moreland proves the power of invisible influence. 4 women of similar attractiveness attended a big college class, acting like regular students. Each attended a different number of class sessions from ranging to 0 to 15. 4 different women attended classes from 0 to 15. After the semester finished, Moreland has class members review photos of the woman. The majority preferred the girl that had been to the most class sessions without even being aware they had ever seen her. We prefer familiar people even if we don't realize that they are familiar to us. This is the only one example of the unseen effect that others have on us. But simply knowing about this influence will help it impact you less. Take a young girl who is bullied by students who hate bookworms for an example. At first, she might feel discouragement at their despising her love of books. But once she realizes that they are affecting her thoughts, their power diminishes. As the girl considers if it is true that people who read a lot are losers, she will recognize that these bullies are wrong. Let me repeat this statement. If the girl considers if it is true that people who read a lot are losers, she'll recognize that these bullies are wrong. She may look to all of the successful people that reading has made and realize that she's right to like books. Let us repeat the lesson number 1 in short. Learn about the effect others have on your choices so that you can overcome it. Let us move on to the lesson number 2 in detail. Although you might not see it at first, you usually embrace others' opinions and imitate their actions. Even if you feel like you are a pretty independent thinker, you are likely wrong. You are highly inclined to adapt behaviors and opinions from the people who are around us. The first reason we do this is simple. It saves us time. It saves us time. We don't have to figure our opinions about everything out for ourselves. Remember the time your friend told you that a new restaurant was terrible. You probably didn't bother going there. Or maybe you adopted the same political views as your parents before you really took the time to study out what you really believed. Sometimes we just adopt others' opinions to save ourselves time. Another reason that we adopt others' opinions is because of social pressure that makes us feel the need to conform. In a study, researchers asked participants to match the length of a line shown to them on a card with one of the 3 other lines shown on a different card. Let me repeat the research. Researchers asked participants to match the length of line shown to them on a card with one of the other 3 lines on different cards. The answer was very obvious, but 6 out of 7 in each group were actors who gave the same wrong answer. In the 1/3 of the cases, participants confirmed and gave the wrong answer due to peer pressure. Social influence even explains why people like certain media. In a study, teens listened to songs by unknown artists and were asked to download what they liked. One group did this without any outside influence, but the second group was shown the number of previous downloads among their peer group. People in the second group choose the most popularly downloaded songs much more than the first one. This shows why it is so hard to predict what book will be a bestseller. social influence is a hugely powerful in our tests. Means in our generation, social influence is going to make huge mark. Let us move on to the lesson number 3. Motivation or distraction come from the people around us, depending on the type of task we are doing. When people lose weight, they often join groups for support. But what it is that about these connections that is so valuable? As we have learned, people mimic what they see other people doing. So for those in a weight loss group that hear of others' success, get a boost of confidence that they will be successful too. Running in a competition has the same effect and makes us run faster. But some tasks, like those that are more difficult, are even harder when others are watching. In these cases, we may focus on appearing smart rather than performing well. The spectators may bring your attention to the thoughts that are disconnected from whatever you are trying to do. Say you are trying to solve a complicated mathematical problems. The presence of other people activates the parts of your brain that make you want to fight, flee, or have fun. Yesterday night, I was working with a mathematical problem and I was working due to the other people influence. Like they have solved the problem that made me given me a confidence to work on that and complete it at any by any cook and group. None of these feelings will help you solve the equation, but only make it more harder. So feelings will not make you to solve the problem, but the activation of the brain makes you to work it more. If you want to take advantage of the invisible influence of others, find someone who is good at the goal that you have. If you have the goal of becoming a good, healthy person, find the person who is already healthy in your circle. You may want to work harder or run faster. Spending more time in the office with the hardest working team member or going for a run with your athletic brother will help you achieve your goals faster. Means associate with the people who already matches your goal. That's how you can achieve the motivation. If you associate with the people who are not in your matching your goals, that becomes your distraction. So let me repeat the 3 lessons and the quotation that we have read. Just like bouncing atoms of each other, means just like atoms bouncing off each other, our social interactions, whether you are connecting with the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and lot of the social media are constantly shaping who we are and what we do. The 3 lessons that we have seen is learn about the effect others have on our choices so that you can overcome it. And already, although you might not see it at first, usually embrace others' opinions and imitate their actions. Like what they are doing, you will do that. Remember that motivation or distraction come from the people around us. So choose the people wisely with who matches with your goals so that you will move ahead in your goal. This is all about from today's book summary, Invisible Influence. See you in another book summary tomorrow. Until then, stay connected, keep progressing, share your lessons in the comments.